Hey y'all, Miles at Black Widow here, and I'm gonna go over the differences in the KB, the PTF, and the PA, our three one-piece recurve. All right, so getting started with these, just think of these as basically, these are the PSA and the PCH of those takedowns in a one-piece variation. So we'll start with the KB. So the KB is named after Ken Beck. Ken Beck, he helped us design this and come down to a shorter riser and a lighter weight bow overall. So the KB is the same length from fade out to fade out as the PCH. So from where the riser blends into the limb and fades out into the limb on both sides, the top and the lower limb, that is the same length as the PCH does at 20 1/4 fade out to fade out. So now a difference it has between the PCH though is the sight window. So same length fade out to fade out as the PCH, but the PCH has a 3-inch sight window. This only has a 2.5-inch sight window. So a 1/2 inch smaller sight window. So again, if you're shooting the bow, you know, vertically, and you need that bigger sight window, KB might not be for you. However, if you shoot with the bow canted, doesn't matter. You got a short, compact, lightweight bow. And about lightweight, this is about 2.5 pounds for a 58-inch bow. Now these of course are going to be lighter than the takedowns because we don't have a phenolic limb board running through here with all the brass inserts and everything that you need to be able to connect your limbs to your riser. So we've replaced that with wood. Again, we have a handle layout video that I'll tag somewhere either in this video or in the description that you can go watch to see how these handles are laid out. So these are gonna be lighter weight overall. This is cut an 1/8 past center, just like the PCH, because again, this is the narrowest of the three. This is the narrowest bow, so we cut it an 1/8 inch past center to allow for those stiffer arrows. But basically, think of this as the PCH in a one-piece variation. Now, we build this bow from a 54-inch to a 60-inch, just like the PCH, and it's the same recommended draw lengths for those bows. So your 23 to 26 inches, 54 inches, your 26 to 28 inches, 56 inches, 27 to 30 inch draws, a 58-inch bow, and those 28 to 32 inch, you're gonna want this in a 60-inch for sure. But this is a sweet shooting, super light, compact bow. So very, very popular there. So let's jump over to the PA. Now, the PA is going to be basically the PSA in a one-piece model. So from fade out to fade out, again, to where the riser fades out into the limb and where the actual working part of the limb starts to work is the same length as it would be in a PSA, which is 22 1/4 inches fade out to fade out. Again, same 16-inch riser, but you do have a 3.5-inch sight window. So a 1/2 inch shorter sight window than you would in a PSA, but other than that, everything is the same. It's also lighter weight, again, just because of the lack of hardware in it. So this is gonna be about 2 3/4 pounds for a 58-inch bow. But basically think of this is the PSA in a one piece, but a little bit lighter weight, a little bit smaller of a sight window, but that is the PA. The PTF is identical in specs, but as you can see, it's cosmetically a little bit different. So basically think of what we did with the PA and the PTF is we basically just come through and ground these horns off. So we've grounded all these off, if I can get that. We've ground these horns off and we've just rounded off the nose of the PTF. So again, super round PTF, very old school look. However, your fade out to fade out length is going to be the same in the PA or as in the PSA, and also with a 3.5-inch sight window. So identical to the PA other than the cosmetic shape of the riser, but fade out to fade out length and sight window length is the same. All of these bows can make the same grips. And this one is going to be the lightest of these three one-piece models and of the takedown. So this is about 2 1/4 pounds for a 58-inch bow. And again, because there's less material in this riser than there is in any of these two risers or the takedown risers, because we have rounded all that off. So again, the lightest bow, but you still have a good stability long riser, that medium length risers, we'd call it. Same thing as the PSA. Limb lengths recommendations for this one is going to be the same as the PA. So we can build this from a 56 to a 62 inch bow. So again, if you're that 23 to 26, I'm going to recommend that 56 inch. If you're that 26 to 28, a 58 inch bow. If you're that 27 to 30 inch, you can go with a 60 inch bow. And if you're 28 to 32 or more, you're going to want the 62 inch bow. But the PTF and the PA, very, very similar. Going over the names, you know, this one was the old model, the anniversary bow, the old Precision Anniversary is what this one would be called. The PTF would be Precision Target and Field. So again, those would be the 3 one-piece bows. As far as like my recommendation, I'm a big fan of the KB. Killed my first traditional deer with the KB and have been in love with it ever since. These other ones now, if you needed a 62 to or a 60 inch bow and you wanted more mass weight stability, the PA would be the way to go with. The PTF, if you like that cosmetic look, you know, that older's, you know, the back to the 50s look as we have it in the catalog, that would be the way to go. I enjoy shooting all of these. Again, if you're wanting a shorter bow with a long working limb, for ground blind or tree stand, I think the KB is the way to go. If you're more, you know, stability target shooting, but you do want to have a lightweight bow to hunt with, I think the PA or the PTF would be the way to go with that one. Another minor difference is we can't add a stabilizer bushing in the PTF like we can the KB or the PA. So if you were going to use some type of stabilizer weight, bow fishing reel or something like that, you could not do that in the PTF. You'd have to do one of the strap-on variations for it. But quiver inserts, sight inserts, cushion inserts, stuff like that can be put on all 3 of these models. But that's just a quick rundown of the differences of these 3 models. We have videos of individual models that we made years ago you can go check out, but this is just a side-by-side difference of these 3 one-piece models.